Hey everybody, this is Melissa and this is my teacher life. Yes, I have not done a video while I'm at school. Currently on my lunch break. So, just letting you know that I was thinking about it and I thought, well, if I'm teaching about stuff and this is about my teacher life, then I'm going to continue to teach. So, today I had decided that I needed to fast and pray. And I just felt that that's just what I needed to do. So today I'll be fasting and praying. And that's really just what I wanted to talk about. I decided to do just a liquid fast so that I'm still getting calories. Of course, my children are depending on me. I can't be worried about falling out because I don't have enough sugar. So this is what I did. And I did this last time that I fasted too, and it was really helpful. So I got a V8 that has the lowest sugar, no added sugars, but the lowest like carbs from sugar, because some of them are really high and I wasn't real comfortable with that. So I just found the one that I don't mind drinking because that can be awful. So anyway, it's got the lowest amount of sugars in it, and no added sugar. So that's what I do, but I'm kind of weird, and I'll probably drink that entire, it's got 46 ounces, so I'll drink that mixed with water all day long, because now I had my 2 cups of coffee. I'm done. Of course, they're like 50 ounces. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. They're not that big. But anyway, so I mix it with water again, so it's not just overly sweet. I don't drink things that are super sweet anyway. Drink lots of water anyway. Drink the just the flavored seltzer water. So I'm not a heavy sweet tooth as far as that goes. But I just felt like that it was necessary again to do the fast. However, just as spiritually speaking, when my pastor called for a fast, he's like, everybody needs to fast and pray. And I'm like, that's awesome. And go, pastor. But I just didn't feel like it was time for me to do the fasting and the praying because I don't find that it's effective if you're just not being true to what God's called you to. So if you're doing it because the church said so or because somebody else said so and not because God said that that's what you need to do for you, then don't do that. Every year we do our fast. There are 21-day fasts at the beginning of the year, the calendar year. So I prepare for that ahead of time so that when it finally gets here, I'm excited. This is something I get to do. This is time I spend with God when I'm not eating. And trust me, I have been doing, yes, I know it's lunchtime, and no, I'm not praying right now, but I have been. So that's the good part. It gives you specific pause moments in your day. You would stop to eat. Don't eat, just pray. And I promise you will get through. And the hunger pains that are going to hit me tonight, it's going to be worth it because I'm just going to be praying. God's called me to pray specifically for specific things. So that's what I'm praying for. Sorry about bouncing the phone around. I guess I should put it down, but you don't want the under chin part coming out too bad, and all that. Anyway, but anyway, so when you're fasting, at least for me, I do have to stay hydrated. I think to myself, okay, self, you're not really hungry. You're probably thirsty. So I just drink some water and the hunger usually subsides. I promise you I can't do this as like some kind of weight loss thing because this is not about me. This is about prayer and this is about God and what God's will is in my life and in the life of the people in my world. And when you're called to it, it's different. I know a lot of people say, I just can't fast or my blood sugar's going to drop. And you know what? I get it. If your doctor says, don't do this, it's not good for you, then don't do it. But if your doctor's like, it's really okay if you do this 1 or 2 days and do it this way, so it gives you some guidance, then do it that way. If you really feel like God's calling you to fast and to pray and you really want your doctor's like, okay, then ask your doctor. Because if God's asking you to do it, I honestly don't believe that it would be any problem for you to do that. So that's just my personal opinion, because I don't feel like you'd be called to do it if God wasn't going to enable your body to do that safely. So anyway, but yeah, so just, it's been such an incredible day. Like, I knew this was coming. I prepared mentally for it. I prayed before I started. So I was kind of like prayed up a little bit from yesterday. So I'm like, just Lord, prepare me, because this is coming, and it's not always easy. And I wasn't at all prepared, and didn't feel called to do it at all earlier this year, but it's a really big deal. And I've been fortunate to have some wonderful ladies that have said, hey, I'll pray with you. Can't really fast, but I'll pray with you. I'm like, come on, pray with me. I'll take any of the help I can get, because where two or more are gathered together, the Lord is with us, especially in prayer. And that just makes me so excited. I've had the best day. This whole teaching thing that we're doing now, I've got kids on this side on my computer, and then I've got kids on this side in my classroom. And this is hard. It's hard. I don't prefer this at all. I would rather be one or the other, so I can feel like I would be a master of something instead of jack of all trades kind of thing. So definitely not my preference to teach this way. Gotta keep an eye on my time. I have to pick my children up from lunch. But today's been a good day. I've had all kinds of obstacles. I've had things that could go wrong, but then I've had a whole lot of affirmation from people, and that just blesses my heart. And it's been an incredible day. I was saying earlier that I got prayed up and I was ready for this. I told my husband ahead of time. I said, I am fasting and praying. If you're not going to join me, that's fine. But just understand, I'm not eating dinner tomorrow night, because it'll be all day on Tuesday. So that's, he's like, okay. He also not really feeling called to fast, but he said he'd pray with me. So that was good. But it's just, when you're called, anything you're called to do, you're going to be able to do it. You just have to trust God. I can give you tips, and I give you hints, what's worked for me. I still take my vitamins too. Because in my brain, girl, I got extra. It's really okay. My body probably doesn't need food for 3 or 4 or 5 days. I promise you that. But I got extra energy stored up. So anyway, but I do take my vitamins, because I do want to stay sharp, and I want to, keep my immune system in the positive, I guess you could say. But just trying to stay as much on my regular routine as possible. But when I think that I can't, I have to remember to remind myself that I can. And I can because God's called me to it. Just like being a teacher, there are days, oh my gosh, the other day I just wanted to throw down and quit. Would I really have quit? No. I was just tired, and it was a hard day. But I wouldn't quit. I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. But I'm called to this, and I'm only going to not be doing this when God says, you're done. Let's move you to somewhere else to be with the people that you need to be with, to minister to the people you need to minister to in a way that only you can. So when he's done with me here, I'll move on. But for now, it's frustrating, and I don't feel like I can do it all the time. And I'm sure there's things in your life that you feel that way too. I want to encourage you today. If you really feel like God's calling you to do something, no matter what it is, I want you to trust him, because there will be an opportunity for him to show up for you and show off for you and show you who he is. I got to go get my kiddos from lunch. So I hope that you have a very blessed day. And thank you for watching. I'm Melissa, and this is my teacher life.